We're back. It's lesson 4. Yay, I have my cubes. All right, we're going to keep working on volume. And we're going to learn the formula for volume. Hopefully, some of you have already kind of picked up on what we're going to be doing to calculate volume that doesn't involve counting cubes every time, because that certainly isn't very practical in real life. But it's important that you understand that's what volume is, and that's why I love this curriculum, the way it really emphasizes the cubic units early on and forces you to understand that we don't measure volume the same way we measure length or area. We measure volume in 3-dimensional units. So this one little cube is actually a unit of measure. How many of these does it take to fill up your backpack? That would be the volume of your backpack, okay, in cubic centimeters. So we're going to move from the actual cubes to the picture to multiplication, writing multiplication sentences to find the volume. So here is our 2 by 5 by 2 prism. I've got the first layer here, 2, 4, 6, 8. No, I don't. 10. Now I do. So it's 5 by 2. That's the first layer. So I'm going to go ahead and build the second layer exactly like the bottom layer. We have 2 identical layers of 10 cubes. So hopefully you can already know that the volume is going to be 20, right? So looking at the picture and then also looking at the, isn't that awesome? Okay. Looking at the picture and looking at our model, you can see that I have 5 cubes in a row, and in the bottom I have 2 rows of 5, so that's a layer of 10, and I have 2 layers, so 10 times 2 is 20. Look right here, the length is 5, there are my 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The width is 2, there's my width. Let me turn this so you can see the width in real life, okay? See, it's 2 wide, okay? And then the height is also 2, and you multiply those together. 5 times 2 is 10, 10 times 2, and you get 20, okay? Or we're just counting the cubes. Okay, this one is going to be 3 wide, okay? So we said the length, I said width, but length is 3, and the width is 2, that's how deep it is, and the height is 4. So the bottom layer, how many cubes are in that bottom layer? If it's 3 long and 2 wide, hopefully you can see that there would be 6 cubes in that bottom layer. And we have 4 layers, so the volume is going to be 24. Take the time to count them if you need to. You can also look at it like 2 slices of cake. If this is a tall rectangular cake and I take my knife and I slice right down the middle, this front layer is going to be a 3 by 4 layer, which has 12. I would have 12 cubes there and 12 cubes in the back and still get the same volume. So it doesn't matter how you slice your cake, it's still the same amount. All right, this next one has a length of 4, okay? The length is 4, the width is 2, and the height is also 4. So look at our bottom layer, or look at your top layer. It's 4 long and 2 wide. So that's an 8, a layer of 8. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4 layers. 8 times 4 is 32. Look right here, 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 4 is 32. Cool beans. All right, last one. This one has a length of 4, a width of 3, and a height of 3. So, how many cubes are in your bottom layer? 4 long, 3 wide. That would be 12 cubes, wouldn't it? And we have 3 layers. 1, 2, 3 layers. 12 times 3 is 36. Now, we're going to take the time to write out our multiplication sentences that we kind of were doing in our head for all of these. Let me see if I can get the whole thing on the screen. I can't. Okay. So the first one was 5 centimeters long, 2 centimeters wide, 2 centimeters high. So look how I wrote my multiplication sentence. 5 centimeters times 2 centimeters times 2 centimeters. And that equals 20 cubic centimeters. Write down your CM 3 times. That'll force you to see when I have 3 measurements all in centimeters that I'm multiplying together, I will end up with cubic centimeters. This is kind of important, okay? So I want you to pay attention to what we're doing. We're taking a linear, that's a length measurement, and we're multiplying it by 2 more length measurements to get, or linear measurements to get a cubic, okay? If I just did 2 of those, like we do for area, I would end up with square centimeters, okay? So anyway, that's A. B would be, here are the numbers, 3 times 2 times 4, 3 centimeters times 2 centimeters times 4 centimeters. That equals 24, and so on, okay? I think you guys probably can catch on to that. All right, so then the next page, no more cubes. Uh-oh. We have prisms, but we do not see the cubes. So we have to really internalize that formula, and I can help you draw the lines on there if you want me to so you can see them. But hopefully you're catching on that you can just multiply the length, the width, and the height. If this length is 4 inches, then that means I can divide this into 4 equal parts. I do that by 3 lines, right? Okay, so then you just kind of sketch your lines up and over in a diagonal. Here, this is in 3 equal parts, so I only need 2 lines. I'm getting kind of wobbly. But this is 4, so that means 3 lines equally spaced so that they look like they're divided into equal units, which actually this does not, but, and this is also 3 up here, so that comes across there and that comes across there. Okay, so now we can see the cubes in here. There are 4 this way, 3 that way, that's 12, but then there are 4 layers of 12, so that comes out to 48 cubic inches, okay? The next one is 3 meters by 2 meters by 6 meters, which comes out to 36 cubic meters. All right, now we have to draw a box. Tyron is constructing a box in the shape of a rectangular prism to store his baseball cards. It has a length of 10 centimeters. There it is right there. A width of 7 centimeters. There it is right there. And a height of 8 centimeters. There it is right there. What is the volume of the box? Can you guys please try to draw that box? I'll show you how I did it, okay? I will show you how I drew that box. So you are going to start out with just a rectangle, the front face of the box. Okay, everybody in here can draw a rectangle. I know you can't. That's 10 centimeters by 8 centimeters, okay? Now, what was the width? The width is 7. Okay, now we're going to draw the top. So start with a rectangle. Then you're going to go and draw 3 diagonal lines, all the same length, out from the corners. And probably don't want them that long because this is only going to be 7. I want my 7 to look a little bit less than my 8, but doesn't matter. So now once you have these 3 diagonal lines drawn, and you can try to make them parallel. If they're parallel, it comes out looking better. And then you just connect them. And look, I've got a parallelogram, and then I come straight down. Do that one too long. Okay, So then that is my 7 centimeters wide. So I just taught you how to draw three-dimensional shapes. Okay, so start with a rectangle, 3 diagonals out that are, try to make them parallel. And what you're really drawing is a parallelogram for the top and a parallelogram for the side. Okay, all right, super fun. Please practice drawing that because it will definitely help you in your math understanding if you take time to learn how to draw. Okay, and then you're just going to multiply the 3 dimensions, 10 by 7 by 8, and get 560 cubic centimeters. Okay, now this number 5 is very interesting. Aaron says more information is needed to find the volume of the 2 prisms. Explain why Aaron is mistaken and calculate the volume of the prisms. So what information are they giving us? They're just giving us the area of this yellow face as well as the width of the box. So they did not give us the length and they did not give us the height. What they gave us was the area. But you guys know how area of that rectangle is calculated. I drew that rectangle, that same yellow rectangle right there for you to look at separately. It has an area of 60 centimeters, so clearly the length is probably 10 centimeters and the width is 6. Now there are other numbers it could be. 5 times 12 is also 60. 4 times 15. But that doesn't matter. Whatever those two numbers are, they multiply to 60. And we're asked to find the volume, so we don't need to actually know the specific length and width if we already know what they are multiplied together, right? So we can just take 60 and multiply times 5. So basically you can take the area of one face and multiply it by the perpendicular distance, which is going to be the height. Okay, you see how that height would intersect with that face of the box at a right angle? So area of the base times the height equals 300 cubic centimeters. Same over here. This area is 20. All we have to do is take that area and multiply it by 12, and you get 240 cubic inches. Okay, there you go, 5th grade, lesson 4. Please work hard on trying to draw three-dimensional shapes. If you're having trouble, please come to office hours. I miss you. Hopefully I'll see you at 12 o'clock today for our fun little scavenger hunt. Okay, take care. Bye.